Hi, so I'm Bob Collins, owner of FWR down in South London, and we're here today to talk about my most recent purchase. I'm here to talk about my new Fireblade that we've built with the assistance of my workshop here at FWR. Purchased this bike from Honda Chiswick. So I bought the base model Fireblade start of last year, and we soon ripped it apart, and it made 211 horsepower on a Dynajet dyno. Probably the most memorable moment so far with this bike, there's two really. I took it to Jerez for the first test, and we managed to get one dry day. And I immediately went quicker than I've ever been before, and it was fairly early days, early development, so at that point I was really happy with it. And the second memorable moment with this bike would be when we raced with North Gloucester at the King of Combe, and I had no idea where I was going, but I managed to get 2 third places, and the bike was fast and handled very well, and yeah, I'm starting to get to grips with it really. My favourite track day this year probably has to be Donington Park with No Limits. They always provide a good a good day out, a good fun day out, and there's no noise police, so super loud can go back on and go and upset some track day wobblers. In terms of although this bike's kind of quite standard, it's actually really far from standard. It took us a full day and a bit. We basically stripped it down to the frame and engine, replaced quite a few chassis parts and brackets, subframe, wiring harness, ECU. The forks went away and they were rebuilt by originally MCT for Öhlins, and then I wanted to try the K-Tech, so Sonny Wilson at SW suspension, replaced it with K-Tech. I'm still undecided on which I prefer. They're both pretty strong, and my lap times are pretty much the same. And then there was quite a lot of other bits. The paintwork was done by a local firm. A good friend of mine, Sean, did that. And Tommy Hill came up with a design which is pretty iconic to this old 93 Fireblade, which I have in the background, which was a bike I've had for a long time. And the idea was to sort of replicate it. Not quite the same, but it's similar. And it certainly gets a lot of attention when I'm out on track. Easy to spot. Yeah, it's a tribute, my tribute to a 93 blade. My dad's always had blades, and when I was a kid I would always be on the back, even when he was crashing at 90 mile an hour with me on the back. So I've got a bit of a soft spot for Fireblades. They're a good bike. Racing wise, I've done 2 endurance races at Donington Park which were unsuccessful, and in that my teammates had injuries, so that pulled us out. And then I raced at Castle Combe for the King of Combe, where I secured 2 third place positions, which was pretty good. And we're off to race at Brantatch GP this weekend for the 8-hour endurance, which should also be quite good. performance-wise, the only additions is this full system. We've got Akrapovic downpipes with a Pipeworks very large can. This is basically to get on UK track days. This comes off, and I've got a louder pipe for the Spanish stuff and for when we go racing, but at the moment for Brands Hatch, for the noise police, we have to run this. In addition to that, I've got the kit upgrade ECU from HRC, which you have to run a kit loom. With those 3 additional items, this bike is making 211 horsepower at the rear wheel. Additional to that, we've done the suspension, which I've currently got K-Tech at the moment, which is working really well. The only brake upgrade is an Akasato master cylinder, which is really good, running the DS2 pads, which is also really good, and Brembo discs. The only other benefits really are the lightweight wheels from Oz and quick release L74 wheel kit front and rear. And then we have crash protection from GB Racing, Promac rear sets, Bonamici, lots of Bonamici little sort of clip-ons and other little gubbins and stuff. That's about it really. It's fairly standard. So here we have, in my little collection of Fireblade stuff, I've got an Urban Tiger. These were pretty sort of iconic back in the day. You used to see them often being flipped up at Chelsea Bridge and smashed into pieces, and over the years they've sort of disappeared and they're a little bit more sought after now. I was never a massive fan of this colourway, but it's certainly grown on me over the last few years, and it's definitely one of the most iconic paint jobs I think that you'll find on a blade. So it's quite nice. A friend of mine wanted to move on and try a different bike, and he let this go, so he passed away sadly. So it's got a bit of a sort of sentimental attachment, but yeah, it's a nice one to have in the collection. I've not even really ridden it. I've done probably 50 miles on it since I've had it, whereas that Fireblade's real trick 93 blade. It's got Dimag wheels, and Akrapovic's got flat slide carbs, so it drinks fuel and you have to ride it quite hard all the time. So that's quite good fun. I've taken it on track at Spa, upset a few normal modern day bikes, which was good fun. Hi Matt. So over the years I've worked with a lot of different people in the bike game. A familiar memory that I always have is a large chap called Chad who is senior buyer for Chiswick Honda nowadays. Is that right? I think that's right. And my first memory of Chad was Brands Hatch track day when he come flying past me out the back section at Brands. Well, I've known Chad for 20 plus years now, and when I saw the new blade, I thought I'd get in touch. So him, with his help and with Matt's help, they came up with a really good deal. It was a real pleasurable experience dealing with them. Bike was delivered to my door, didn't even have to go and get it. So it was real nice experience, and good communication. Price was right. Happy to do a deal with them really. Yes, I definitely recommend the Fireblade. I really enjoy my one. It's been the most exciting bike I've had for a long time. It's very quick, but very user friendly. So get yourself down and see Matt, get one bought, and when the tyres run out, come and see me for a good deal on a new set. When I was a kid growing up, like 12 years old, my father had the original 92, which was black and bronze. We used to go out quite a lot on Sundays together, and he used to ride like a complete lunatic, so much so that he crashed it and put us through 3 front gardens once, and I ended up battered and bruised and couldn't make school on Monday. Growing up as a kid, I just always loved this colour. This was the one I always wanted. I never really got a chance to buy it. When I turned 17, there was other bikes by then, so these kind of got forgotten about, but just always loved this colour. So yeah, this is my own personal one. Bit of a sort of lockdown project really. We restored this in lockdown 1, and a guy called Larry Frost totally repainted it, but he managed to keep all the original graphics. So it's not original, but it's very good, high quality. I changed the wheels to Dimags, which I bought about 15 years ago, and they've been sat in the loft. So I put them on, which converts it to 17-inch front wheel, which is good for tyre choice. This particular bike's got full Akrapovic, which I secured through Performance Parts, and it's also got a set of FCR 39 flat slide carbs, which make for some good power. So it's quite a good fun bike. It's quite old now, but it's still all right. Still goes okay. The theme with this is basically that. They're not identical. Obviously, I've got FWR on the logo instead of CBR, but the idea was to try and replicate. Tommy Hill did the graphics, done a nice job. So yeah, they're that's the inspiration basically. I hope you enjoyed this video of the Fireblades we've got here. If you've liked it, hit the subscribe and like button. If you need tyres and you're in London, come and see us. Give us a shout. Website is here.